There is a moment when a place does not just impress you but rearranges you. You arrive expecting noise and speed and you find care instead. You expect chaos and you find intention. You think you are visiting a city and you realize the city is also visiting you. This story begins with movement. With streets that never pause. With color that does not wait for permission. With people who carry creativity the way others carry keys. The context here is a city that many describe as overwhelming. Fast, crowded, intense. But speed alone is not the full story. What matters is how that speed is held. In some places speed feels sharp and exhausting. In others it feels alive and generous. Mumbai shows us the second version. It is fast but not careless. It is dense but not cold. The first surface insight is that care can exist even inside constant motion. We often assume care requires slowness. That detail requires quiet. That creativity needs space. But here care is layered into movement. Organizers think about people while moving quickly. Speakers bring heart without slowing the pace. The city feeds you while you walk. You see it in how events are built. In how speakers support each other. In how the audience listens closely even while surrounded by energy. Care does not stop the flow. It guides it. Think about a kitchen during a busy meal. Orders come fast. Pans move. Voices rise. Yet a good kitchen runs on care. Timing matters. Attention matters. People watch out for each other. That is the feeling here. The hidden assumption many people carry is that seriousness is the only path to meaning. That joy makes ideas lighter. That warmth distracts from depth. But Mumbai challenges this. Here depth comes wrapped in color. Insight comes with humor. Serious topics arrive through stories, food, and lived culture. Street food is not just food. It is memory, economics, and survival. Design is not just style. It is identity and access. Rock balancing is not just art. It is patience, focus, and trust in the moment. When ideas are rooted in daily life, they travel further. People do not need to translate them. They recognize them. The third insight reveals a structural pattern. Places that value lived experience produce ideas that feel grounded. When speakers speak from what they have touched, tasted, built, or carried, ideas gain weight. They do not float above reality. They sit inside it. This pattern shows up across cultures. When knowledge comes from doing, it invites more people in. When stages welcome stories from the street, the audience feels included. When organizers care about details, people feel safe enough to listen deeply. This creates a loop. Care builds trust. Trust opens attention. Attention allows ideas to land. A new perspective begins to form. Maybe the future of global ideas does not belong to one style or tone. Maybe it belongs to places that can hold contrast. Speed and care. Tradition and invention. Noise and listening. Mumbai does not choose between these. It practices both at once. That is why the experience feels full instead of scattered. It is not trying to simplify itself for visitors. It invites visitors to expand instead. Application to daily life is closer than it seems. Many people live busy lives. Work moves fast. Messages pile up. Schedules fill. The lesson here is not to slow everything down. It is to add care into motion. To pay attention while moving. To design meetings with intention even when time is short. To support colleagues even while deadlines press. To bring heart into work without waiting for perfect conditions. You can do this in small ways. By noticing who needs help. By preparing thoughtfully. By celebrating effort. By feeding people literally or emotionally. These actions change how speed feels. There is also an optional deeper layer worth staying with. Places shape us when we let them. Travel often becomes consumption. Photos list souvenirs. But sometimes a place teaches you something about how to live. Mumbai teaches resilience without bitterness. It teaches creativity without permission. It teaches that beauty does not require polish. It can rise from pressure. It also teaches generosity. The way people share space food in stories. The way organizers lift speakers. The way speakers lift each other. This generosity counters the idea that competition must be harsh. Fierce selection can coexist with mutual respect. High standards can coexist with warmth. Even the food tells this story. Meals are shared. Flavors are layered. You do not eat alone even when standing. Food becomes a bridge. A pause that does not stop movement but enriches it. Over time, this changes how you listen. You stop waiting for ideas to look a certain way. You become more open to forms that are messy, vibrant, and alive. You realize that brilliance does not always arrive quietly. Sometimes it arrives dancing. Sometimes it arrives laughing. Sometimes it arrives balancing stones on a street corner and asking you to look again. This matters for how we search for ideas globally. If we only look for ideas that fit familiar shapes, we miss much of what the world is offering. Mumbai reminds us that ideas are embedded in culture. In food. In fashion. In language. In rhythm. When we honor that, we get closer to truth. As this journey moves across cities, one thing becomes clear. Ideas are not just spoken. They are felt. And some places help you feel them more fully. This stop does not just add another city to a list. It shifts how you notice energy, care, and creativity. It leaves you a little more awake. A little more hungry. Not just for food but for connection. So when you think about the places and people that have changed you without warning, what would it look like to carry their care and vibrancy into the way you create, share, and listen to ideas every day?